Hello, this is Paul again from Pandemonium Miniatures. Para Bellum Wargames were kind enough to send me a box of men-at-arms for the 100 Kingdoms faction to bolster my growing army. So what I thought I'd do is a quick unboxing and then build one of the models just to show you what they look like. Okay. So yeah, this is literally brand new. I haven't even got the cellophane off yet. So I'll just slip that open. And we'll have a look inside. So the artwork in the box themselves is always really good quality. Really nicely painted illustrations. And I really like the format and the presentation in general. The boxes are pretty sturdy. So inside, well, we've got the regiment bases for lining them all up in rank and file. Now these are necessary for Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings, but you don't really need them for Conquest First Blood, the skirmish version. They just stand on their own round bases. There's a regiment card. And there's all the round bases. And then we've got the sprues. Now you can see we've got the command and standard bearer options, which look really cool. There's some nicely defined sculpted detail on that banner, so that's going to be quite a lot of fun to paint. And each of the men-at-arms is armed with a sword and a shield. The shields are pretty chunky looking. My plan is, hopefully, that each one of these will have a slightly different heraldic design on them in the unit. All using the same colour scheme, but with a different pattern, just to make them all unique but unified at the same time, if you see what I mean. So there's two sprues of those. Just get the box out of the way. I'll just get one of the bases out ready. I'm just going to put one of the models together right now. So I've got my flush cutters. So just going to carefully clip out the legs. One of the shields. The sword arm. Torso. And the head. And you get quite a few variations in the head, and it looks like there's a few spare. I think I will go for this one. It's got sort of a chainmail guard in the front. There we are. And lastly, I need a shield arm. There we go. Let's pop those out of the way. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and just clean up any mould lines, and particularly where it was attached to the sprue. I've got a brand new blade in my scalpel. not really much in the way of mould lines actually, which is nice. There's a bit of a one there. Might score that actually, because that's a good flat surface for gluing, and if I score it, it just increases the gluing area a little bit, gives me a good surface for the glue to adhere to. There we go. That was just quickly. I might have to go back around when it's assembled just to double check I got all the mould lines, but it'll do for now. Let's just clear the nozzle off. Right, so I'm just using plastic cement here, and as we know, this works by effectively welding the surfaces together. It just melts the surface of the plastic just that little bit. And forms a very strong bond. So I'll just let that take for a minute. Put that down. I'm just applying the glue in the center because it will kind of spread out, and I don't want it to splodge out the sides too much. I don't want it to splodge out the sides at all, really. There we are. See, I'm rushing. So just while the legs and the torso are drying, I might have a think about how I want to pose this, and also whether I want to glue the shield on or leave it off and paint it separately. I think it will be a case of painting it separately, to be honest, because otherwise there's quite a lot of detail underneath that will be tricky to get hold of. Okay, let's pop a bit of glue on the neck, glue the head on. And then a bit of glue on the shoulders. Now you notice it was pretty quick clipping the pieces out. I didn't really have to worry about matching up numbers or following instructions particularly. It was all fairly intuitive how it all goes together. It's not a particularly complicated kit. Let's have his sword raised a little bit, as much as I can anyway. I think those shoulder guards might have other ideas. I think if I want to have the arm raised any more than that on any others, I might have to trim a little bit from the shoulder. And there we are. So that's pretty much done. And like I say, I'm going to leave the shield off until the last minute. So he looks pretty cool. So my plan for painting these is to follow consistently the colour scheme that I've adopted for the 100 Kingdoms army, which is kind of a deep red and an off-white heraldry scheme. So to show you what that looks like, here's a couple of the characters that I've painted for this army. So this is my arms master. No, it's not. This is my veteran, my seasoned veteran. And you can see he's got silver armor with gold details. Then I've also given him a kind of a diamond pattern heraldry scheme on his shield. And then the arms master, which is one I just finished this week, he's got the same colour scheme, but he's got his own heraldry. So he's got a quartered surcoat in that cream and red, and a red cloak. So the idea is that the men at arms will follow that scheme, and the technique I've been using broadly is to give the entire model a coat of Vallejo metal colour steel as the base coat, and that gives a really good grounding for the armour, but it's also fairly easy for me to layer over it to block in all of the other colours. And particularly when I'm painting a regiment, like this is a regiment of 12, being able to base coat it all in one fell swoop with the airbrush really saves a lot of time. So that's my plan for these. So looking forward to getting into that, and I might show you the results in another video. All right, cheers, bye.